Hello, I'm going to talk you through my Lightroom workflow just now, from importing, culling, editing, creating presets, exporting teaser images for clients with my logo on them, all the way to exporting. I'm going to try my best to make it brief but informative, so we'll see how this goes. After importing all of my images, I stay in library mode for the first culling process. Sometimes I will go into develop to scrutinize or look at an image more closely and mess around with an edit possibly to see if I can salvage it sometimes, or if I can create something with it. Anyway, but for the most part I stick in library mode because I think it's the most efficient way, because I can view multiple images at one time. So I'm in library mode right now, and I click survey view. I will get rid of these tabs at either side that I don't need. I like to use maximum area when looking at these images. So I would start at the beginning. I'm just using this area as an example right now. What I do, so I could select one image, and then I will select several, so I can look at 5 or more. I could look at 2 at a time, 5, 10, however many I'd like to look at. I usually look at ones that are all a similar pose altogether, and I just pick my favorite one. But I would like to look at a few less at a time so I can get a little closer look. Okay, so I have selected 3 images. Now, the easiest way I've found to do this has been to deselect my favorite ones, actually. So we actually have 2 that are out of focus on the edges here, so I'm going to deselect the one that looks like it's in focus. And these 2 that are already selected, I will right click on one of the images, I will remove photo and then delete from disk, and they're gone. So I'll just go through groups of images at a time, and I would select the ones I do want. Now I say select, that's just how it works in my head. I'm actually deselecting them, but I am, let's say that I wanted those 2, and then I just wanted to delete, I wanted to delete all of these. Actually, I think I do, I've already got that one, so I do. So I would right click, remove photos, delete from disk. Now that's the way I find it most efficient. Sometimes if I do want a real closer look at images, if it's not such an easy decision for me, I do go into the develop mode, and I'll go through them individually. But for the most part, I have found that the culling process is a lot quicker doing it this way in library mode. So then I will reopen these toolbars, and I will move into the develop mode. And here's one I did earlier, and I edited this from scratch. I didn't apply any presets. I don't buy any presets, but I do create my own, usually at the start of every session. So I've got anything here from the name of families, the name of people that have been in my sessions, to newborn window, newborn lifestyle, newborn skin. Also, I really need to actually cull my presets, but I have even named after locations, things like that. I use everything. So what I've done with this is I have named this preset senior, and I can go to this other image. It's very similar. I'm just using it as an example. I'll probably delete that one, and I would apply that same preset. Now I could select all of these images, and I could apply the senior preset here. Now I already have auto sync selected here. You could deselect it, but it's auto sync. So when you select all of those images and apply the preset that you made previously for the same location, lighting. So of all these images with her under the framed by these leaves here, I would apply that preset. So that's what I do, is I go to each different location. So I would create a different preset for these ones, I would create a different preset for these ones, because if you apply that same preset, it's not going to work. So let's just click on an image here and I apply senior. My guess is it's going to be way too bright. The image is pretty overexposed as it is, so that's, and it's too cool and her skin's too dark. So I would have to you know, I could, sometimes I will just apply it to keep the same tones or whatever I've been using, and you know, I might use the adjustment brush in this, but I did create one for this one too. So what I would do for this one is I would create another preset, and I would go presets, and I'd select this little button here, and maybe I will write senior and then grass, because I know she's walking through the grasses there, and I could apply that. Again, here I could select them all and I could apply senior grass. Now please keep in mind I've not culled any of these. I usually don't show all of these images during this part of the process, but I'm just trying to help out. So there we go. So that's how I would cull, and then I would create individual edits for all of the different areas during the session, and I would apply them. And then what I do after that is I do go through them individually and I tweak them, because every image, you know, it might need something different, or I might use the adjustment brush. Here I used this on her eyes and her skin, the whites of her eyes, even a little on her eyeliner, and I smoothed out some of the foreground here too. So I go through each individual image and do things like that if needed as well. Now the next thing I usually do, or during the process, or even at the very beginning when I go rummaging through the pictures to find a favorite image and I edit it straight away, is I then go to the print module, which I use, and you can check my other tutorial, which is on creating collages in Lightroom, to see how I share images to clients using my user templates, which has disappeared for some reason. I have none. Oh well, we'll have to create some more. So what I would do is, let's say I wanted to share a whole bunch from this session. Now I've created this earlier, and it does include my my identity plate. So this portion, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, please look at my creating collages in Lightroom tutorial. It goes over every single aspect of this, and how the most important part is that down here that you do have print to JPEG file instead of printer, because that brings up all of these options here, and it totally changes that module for you to creating a JPEG. Now what I'll do is I'll drag my images here, and you know, if I wanted to share more, a little collage. But what I want to do actually is, well, first of all I'm going to save that template, because it looks like they've all disappeared for some reason, so I'll save that before I get rid of it. And then I'll do a 6x4, wrong way, 4x6. I'm sorry, this is a lot messier than I anticipated, so if you just bear with me. And I delete all of that, and then I have my one image here that I want to share, and that was, I want to lock photo aspect ratio. Oh dear. Okay, there we go. And my watermark here, my identity, I actually just use text. It's a lot quicker than using my watermark. And I can change the color of that. Let's just do something really quick. So, okay, hang on, I'll just select grey. There we go. That's easier. You know, and you can put that somewhere you want it, and from there I would just go to print to file. I'm all excited about the image, and I save it in a folder, and then I go to Facebook or Google Plus or wherever I'm sharing the image, or Instagram, and I can share it straight away during the whole process, and I can go back to develop, and then I can just get on with my work without too much of a fuss, and I can do it all in Lightroom. I don't have to, you know, download any more programs or open Photoshop. I can do it all right here in Lightroom. Now let's pretend that all of the images have been edited within 5 minutes, and then I select them all, Control A, and then I would right click, export, and an internal error has occurred, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Well, what a great way to finish. But I'm pretty sure you know how to export, and then you select the folder and you rename them. But I think I have gone over everything I was going to do. So I hope that was brief and informative, and please subscribe to my channel if you'd like some more Lightroom videos with random tangents. So that's it, and now I have to figure out how to turn off this studio camera thing that I've been using. Okay, well, thanks for listening. Bye.